Now, I know that a full tour of the 7 train line would go from the first stop to the last stop, but that'd take too long, so I'll just be guiding you through select stations, mainly in Queens today, in this area. So without further ado, 90th Street is where I've lived most of my life. We moved here about a decade ago, and this is actually where I met my best friend. Points of interest include the CVS across the street, 99-cent stores on every block, and huge-ass parks where children play in the daytime, and then when it's nighttime, middle-aged men go there to drink. Yeah, nothing else much worth noting. Also known as Roosevelt Avenue, if you live in Elmhurst or Jackson Heights, chances are you've been here or can get here within 30 minutes on a bus. The Q49 goes straight to my front door from here. Yeah, this just so happens to be my favorite way of getting home when it's late at night. And also just so happens to be the safest way to get home at night without dying. I don't have a lot to say about this stop, but the 7 Express stops here. Sometimes if I accidentally get on, and then I realize in time, I'm like, oh shit, and then I cross the platform to get on my good old 7 Local. I know someone who may or may not still live here, but you'll get what's coming to you, Matthew. This is actually where my first girlfriend lived. I only visited one time, though. She waited for me on her fire escape for 20 minutes because I got lost trying to find her apartment. We fell asleep on the bottom bunk, and when I woke up, her sister had come home and she was crouched on the floor staring intently at my face, and I was sleeping. She asked her so many questions about me. It's kind of funny. She was like, Julie's a good student. Julie studies all the time. As if that's what your sister wants to hear about your partner. We left before their mom came home.
Subject to random search by the police. Thanks for riding.
I chose to give a tour of a little bit of the 7 train because it's been such a big part of my life here. I say here even though this is mostly where I've always been. I went to high school in Queens, though. It was in LIC, actually. It was interesting. I remember going with my friends to sometimes follow the tracks near school. We'd follow the vague footprints of our peers made hours before. We'd hear distant sounds of bagpipes across the water, and we'd just sit on rusted ladders. I used to go, my friends used to call it diving in the bins because there was this Goodwill outlet near our school that we'd go to. Once a week, we'd go right after school and wait in line because that's what they did. They made you wait in line for the next hour rush. And it'd be, boom, 4 o'clock, allowed to go, and it'd be a huge stampede of people with big bags. stuffing clothing into them, getting ready to leave and pay and shit. I don't really talk. I don't really talk to anyone from school anymore. But that doesn't mean none of the shit we did, didn't matter. Shit happens, and that's okay. Which brings us to our last stop on this tour, Court Square. I hope you enjoyed this little peek into my 7 train routine. I liked making it. Thank you for watching.